Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about one of the most debated formats in B2B SaaS content right now. We are talking about listicles. Yes, they have gotten a bad rep lately, with some folks in SEO world calling self-promotional best of listicles a great tactic in SEO. So today, Aditi and I are sitting down to unpack this whole debate. What's fair game, what's not, and where we stand on it. Hey Aditi, welcome back to the show.
Hey Subhasri, happy to be here once again.
So, Aditi, this topic's been coming up in our team conversation nonstop lately. So, I thought let's just record this one instead of hashing it over Google Chat. I want to begin our conversation with this one question I've been meaning to ask you. Lily Ray calls the tactic of publishing a listicle and ranking our own company as top option a gray area SEO practice. What's your take on that?
Why is she calling it gray? She's calling it gray because there are two sides of this. One, many marketing agencies are spreading this word that if you want to come in AI answers, B2B SaaS listicles can move the needle in a great way. And honestly speaking, in last 7 years, we have insisted on this strategy and we have brought results for our clients with that. In fact, there was one FinTech client. For them, we wrote just 3 of these listicles and they had gotten 25 leads. So the tactic works. There is no denial that it doesn't. Now coming back to Lily Ray's point. First of all, everyone can get this marketing 101 lesson from her. When everyone on internet is saying to go west, if you say to go east, people would be more open to listening to you. So if the internet is advocating that you should be writing listicles to come in AI answers, Lily Ray's way of saying that it might not work, and also she has supported her piece with data. And in that data, the idea she was throwing was that people are exploiting this technique, that they are writing thousands of listicles. They are claiming themselves the best even when they are not. That's where things are getting wrong in her opinion. So respecting that, how I would like to go about it is, see, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to get the attention of our prospects at the moment they are looking for a company or product like ours.
Yes.
Again, as marketing 101, it's fair. But if you are trying to misuse this strategy in a way that you are calling yourself the best when you cannot deliver the expected results. Okay. I remember you asking me this once that or at Concurate, majority of our experience is from writing for patent tech, fintech, healthcare tech, customer experience tech, insure tech. But we have written listicles wherein we are also talking about other industry segments. Is it right or wrong? So my answer to that is, till the point you are confident enough that you can actually help the clients in other industry spaces, even without significant experience in that domain, there is nothing wrong in saying that. But if you are doing false claims that you have experience in that domain and you will be able to deliver results, then you are just deceiving the readers, which I would say is not right.
So, Aditi,
Hope that answers your question.
Yes. So, Aditi, the idea of publishing listicles has been around for some time now. And companies are publishing hundreds and even thousands of listicles. Do you think this is still a good strategy today?
Yeah. As I mentioned, the strategy is not wrong, but how it gets implemented is what matters. Because Google is not just trusting one listicle that you have written. As per their EEAT algorithm, they would look for other signals also which back up your claim. If you are calling yourselves the best for a specific job or a specific product fit, what else can give Google a confidence that, yes, you are deserving and you can deliver on what you are saying? The real case studies, the real client testimonials, the same message getting covered on third party websites, not just your website. So, and then one of their pillars is experience. Okay. What I just told were about demonstrating the expertise. Experience, if you have been in the field for many years and you have, let's say, spoken at industry conferences and there is some sort of proof around the fact that yes, you can do it, then there is nothing wrong. So till the time, so what is Google trying to do here? Let's understand that. Google primary idea is to ensure that the searchers or their customers or their users get the best search experience on their platform. Okay. They do not want that the people to feel that Google is just giving them random products as a list, right? So Google would want to do its due diligence by confirming the same thing from multiple resources, and only when the algorithm feels that they are confident enough to recommend, they would do it.
Absolutely. And Aditi, you were talking about how your team was able to generate leads with these SaaS listicles that you have written. So the question that I have for you is, why do most B2B SaaS listicles fail to generate leads?
That's a good one. As I just mentioned about the third party signals and not adding the proof that you can actually deliver the results is where things go wrong. So, for example, let's say in sales conversations, sometimes our clients ask us, do you have experience of writing for a complex product like ours? To that, let's say it's from an industry that we have not written for. So how do we go about answering that? We say that we are nowhere calling ourselves as an experts in your industry. You are the experts. But where we are calling ourselves the best, that when we come in a room to interview your experts, to get the right information to present in any sort of listicles, we come back with thorough research. We ask the questions that can help us communicate the message in the listicles that yes, your product or service can actually help with what our readers or prospects are looking for. So if B2B SaaS listicles are not able to do that, they would fail. Because these listicles are just a discovery point. Okay. The decision does not happen at discovery. In a listicle, when the readers come, maybe they would make a short list of 5 out of 12. Then on those 5, they would spend more time researching whether it fits their unique situation. Does it help in accomplishing the goals they are hoping to accomplish with your product or service? Do they relieve them of the pain point that they have faced with the alternatives that they were using before your product or service? If the listicle is not able to give that kind of information, no, it won't make the cut.
So, Aditi, for a company that has a very complex B2B SaaS and they're trying to communicate their value proposition to their audience, what is one best practice you will recommend them in terms of content?
They got to write those listicles, but they need to support it with topical authority as well and pain point SEO. Now, what do I mean by pain point SEO? So there is this patent tech that we do marketing for, and it can help users reduce their legal counsel expenses. Okay. So we have written pieces like how to reduce legal bills. Okay. Now, in that, if we are able to tell how you can use the product to reduce the legal bills, they would be more open, right? Or a similar case would be, let's say, in the same patent tech space, the users we know have a goal of creating strong patent portfolios. So let's say someone is searching how to strengthen my patent portfolio. Okay. If we can answer that in a way that we are not just telling them the best practices, but the how tool fits into that whole workflow at different stages by providing them analytics and all. So that is also something I would want my clients to have besides the listicles, because we don't just want to work on the discovery, but we also want to work on the conversion.
So, Aditi, we know Lily Ray's take on this, and we just heard about your take. Now, let's focus on Google. So, Google has long recommended that review content include real evidence of testing the reviewed products and services. So, does your team follow the best practice? This best practice?
Till the time it is possible. So let me give you one incident from our own experience. There was a company in voice AI domain. Okay. And we were asked a listicle on 11 Labs alternative. And 11 Labs is like a OG or a king in the space, right? Yes. Now, when we needed to do that, how did we go about it? We actually took subscriptions of the product wherever it was possible. We tested it in different ways that the target audience would look for. So there were, from what I remember, you only had done that testing yourself. So how about you tell how you went about that whole
Yes.
piece writing?
So there were when we were in the shortlisting phase, we found around 20 tools. So I remember signing up for each of these tools. Then I recorded my voice, like to see how accurately the tool was replicating my voice. I for some of the tools I even tried different movie dialogues. So it was a very lengthy process where I was spending at least 15 to 20 minutes with each of these tools. And then some of the tools allowed me to download the voice samples, which we eventually embedded in the articles. Some of those didn't. For those, we were able to track down a couple of YouTube review videos, which a couple of reviewers have posted on YouTube, and we embedded those in the article. So yeah, that kind of deep research, hands-on research that we did, where we are actually testing on the tools, and I was able to see the difference between each tool while I was trying it myself, where the accuracy was more. Since I have an Indian accent, I wanted to see which tool was more accurately getting a hold of that. So yeah, that level of hands-on experience gave me the actual knowledge that was required to write the piece that was completely unbiased, purely based on how those tools were functioning in terms of the AI voice generation feature. Yeah.
So exactly on foundational level, what we
Yes.
tried to do was we tried to help the readers pick the
Readers.
right voice AI that suits their requirement. And
Yes.
for that, we did not do superficial work. We actually went in depth to give them that information. So that ways we are not just aligning with what Google wants, but ensuring actually Google also wants the same thing. They also want the searcher or the readers to get the right and actionable information for whatever decisions they are trying to make.
Absolutely. So, Aditi, when you're writing a B2B SaaS listicle, there's a lot that goes in the background. There's research, they're testing the tools. So, how much of that process, or let me reframe my question, is it okay to automate these B2B SaaS listicle writing using AI?
So this reminds me of another incident. This is related to Forbes article writing. So we write for a lady. She's the director at some technology company. And one thing she mentions is if you try to automate an inefficient process, you are actually magnifying the inefficiency.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you're trying to automate B2B SaaS listicle writing, and you are not giving the right input to your automation tools, that's where it fails. One. Okay. So let's say if your automation tool is just like it will rehash the content from top 10 Google results, it is not going to work. But let's say for whatever specific client you're writing and you have fed all the necessary information to that AI, whether it is about product features, benefits, how users feel about it, what is internet saying, sales conversation transcripts, or whatever information you can provide. The more enriched you keep it, the better listicle it can provide. But at the end of the day, we all know AIs can hallucinate. We all know the importance of having a human in the loop. Only an expert B2B SaaS writer would know where the gaps would be and how they can fill those gaps. So I think it's less about automation or no automation. It's more about with whatever method, are you able to produce a listicle that is serving the goal of writing it for both the readers and the marketer?
Absolutely. So, Aditi, as the industry changes, even the B2B SaaS buyer behavior has changed a lot in the recent years. So, when companies are writing these listicles, or to be honest, creating any kind of content, how can companies make their B2B SaaS listicle search algorithm proof?
Coming back to the same foundational thing, till the time it is helping the readers with the information they need, it is algorithm proof. Whenever we are in a situation like this, we need to apply first principles thinking. How would Google react to this? Google's only and only goal is to improve the searcher's experience. And in this world, when people are doing their buyer research on AI tools with only reason, let's just try to compare what was happening historically. in the era of blue links. Okay. What would people do? Let's say they are searching for best CRM software. Max to max, they would write one sentence in that Google search query box. They would go to 10 different links, figure out which products might be suitable, then further do the research to figure out what works better for them. And that used to be a long process. Now, when they are doing the same research in the AI tools, they can say stuff like, I'm looking for a CRM software for my globally distributed team, which is 200 in employee size. I do not want a steep learning curve. I want it to have this sort of compliance, or like they can mention numerous things either in one query or subsequent queries whenever they are doing their shortlisting. Okay. So always go back to first principle thinking and feel that you need to attract the perfect match for your client. Now, what do I mean by that? In every category, whether it is a product or a service, positioning is different. For example, a tool might be more suited for small enterprises versus large ones. So you need to give the right signals to attract uh, perfect match, so that when the sales cycle is happening, the conversion should just feel like a formality. And try to only attract the ones where you can genuinely help. That's what can make your piece of content algorithm.
Got it. Got it. Aditi, thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation with me. It's always a delight to talk to you and honestly, insanely insightful.
So I also love these conversations. Let's keep having more of these as we go ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of the SaaS founders and CMOs listening are going to find this particular episode insanely valuable. And everyone tuning in, if you want to go deeper into topics like SaaS marketing trends, GEO, AEO, and all of that, we have actually written a bunch on it. So you can go check out those articles. They are linked down in the description. And look, if you're watching this and if you're thinking, okay, I want this handled for me, like you want your content to actually show up in AI answers and drive real value for your business, that's literally what we do. The link to work with us is also in the description. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye bye.